It's October, that magical month of the year when everything tastes of pumpkin, horror movie marathons are all the rage, and folks dress up in costumes to scare each other and or acquire candy. Few things are more exciting when October rolls around than Matt Kelly's annual birthday/Halloween celebration, and guess what? You're all invited. Nothing really makes for a great Halloween like some great songs. Obviously, you don't want people to think you're basic when all you can muster is Monster Mash and I Put a Spell on You. It doesn't matter whether you're throwing an in-person bash, jumping on the office Zoom in costume, or just turning up the tunes when you carve a jack-o'-lantern and you need some quality songs. Well, we've got you covered. These are the top 10 songs perfect for any Halloween playlist. Number 10, Thriller, except it's by the Easy Star All-Stars. Arguably, Thriller is the second most cliche October song beyond the aforementioned Monster Mash. But that being said, Easy Star's reggae dub cover of the Michael Jackson classic is so good, you'll find yourself questioning if this is how the song was always supposed to sound. This song appeared on their Thrilla, where they did a full dub version of the best-selling album of all time. This song is guaranteed to get heads bobbing and grooving, not just for apples, but right away. Number 9, Out of Limits by the Marquettes. In 1961, screenplay writer Michael Z. Gordon formed a rock band with various session musicians. While they were known for their surf sound, it was their song Out of Limits that became one of their most known hits. The opening guitar riff is inspired by The Twilight Zone, so much so that show creator Rod Sterling sued the band over it. In an effort to mask that the song at times was a glorified cover of the Twilight Zone theme, they named the song Out of Limits to make people instead think of the Twilight Zone rival show, Outer Limits. Clever. While you may or may not want to bust a move to it, the song has a nice relaxed vibe that will perfectly set the spooky season mood. Number 8, I Was a Teenage Werewolf by the Cramps. We won't lie, picking just a single Cramps song was not easy. Their entire career, similar to the punk rock peers the Groovy Coolies, has been writing horror-inspired songs. We could have included Surfin' Dead, made popular in Return of the Living Dead, or the B-movie tribute song Wilder, Wilder, Faster, Faster, but ultimately, we landed on I Was a Teenage Werewolf, off their debut, Songs the Lord Taught Us. And that's probably because my favorite book as a kid was called I Was a Second Grade Werewolf. The Link Wray-inspired opening guitar riff gives you an immediate, unsettling feeling. The Cramps infamously rarely had a bassist in their early years, instead using a fuzz guitar and steady drum beat driving the song, with founding member Poison Ivy playing a hypnotic guitar riff while singer Lux Interior sings of the struggles of being a teenage werewolf. The Cramps' fan favorite is a perfect example of their band's overall ethos. They were a warped, self-aware throwback to the 50s rock, singing a song that was a warped, self-aware film from the 50s, with one of the best-looking werewolves in film history. Number 7, Ghost Town by the Specials. It's not an accident that Edgar Wright decided to use the sounds of the Specials to kick off his classic horror comedy Shaun of the Dead. The hypnotic horns and driving bass immediately gives both a sense of impending doom as well as the air of some dudes getting stoned in their flat. While the song itself isn't about horror in the traditional sense, it is about urban decay, unemployment, and violence in the inner city. The song was an instant hit, with an eerie music video of the band members driving around an abandoned city. Sadly, this was the last song recorded by the original 7 members before the group went their separate ways. Number 6, Murder at the Bingo Hall by Amigo the Devil. Amigo the Devil may not be the most well-known artist on the list, but if there's only one artist you walk away from this list checking out, it should be them. Amigo defies a specific genre, but you could say that they sound like a weird mix of AJJ, Tom Waits, and the Mountain Goats, but with songs about murder. In this case, the murder happens at the bingo hall. Beyond being one of the most unique songs on our list, it's also the newest song, as it was released earlier this year. It starts like a slow, classic country song, but builds into a fast-paced drumming and fuzz bass that will make you listen again and again and again and again. Number 5, Devil's Diary by the Caulfields. Hailing from Newark, Delaware, the Caulfields never blew up quite like they should have, but their most well-known single, Devil's Diary, was an infectious pop rock song with ska upstrokes and more hooks than a tackle box. The band was just about to release their second album when the label fired their representation, leaving the band in limbo until they eventually disbanded, causing them to not quite be bigger than Jesus, as they originally claimed. But with their earwormy chorus, you'll find yourself singing along by the time the chorus hits again. Now, while lead singer John Fay has had many other projects throughout the years, the Caulfields did finally release a concert video this year called 26 Candles. Check it out. Number 4, Dead Souls, 9 Inch Nails. There's quite a few good options for a 9 Inch Nails song for a Halloween playlist, as industrial music has always had an element of dark gothic tones. But we went with the Joy Division cover Trent Reznor did for the Crow soundtrack. This album will always be remembered as one of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time, but certainly one of the best from the 90s. 9 Inch Nails' rendition of Dead Souls is both energetic while being almost laid back for the infamously angry band. It sets a perfect, eerily dystopian and borderline nihilistic vibe that will hit just right when the leaves change colors and the weather gets a little chillier. Number 3, Vampire, Dr. Dog. There's admittedly a tiny ping of bias with this pick, as Dr. Dog has been one of my favorite bands for well over a decade now, but even if I didn't adore this band, the song is a perfect track for any Halloween playlist. With a 70s-inspired guitar lick and a hypnotic organ playing in the background, Philadelphia's favorite neo-psychedelic indie rockers give us a song that keeps you guessing where it will go next. If you haven't had a chance to hear that song live, this year will be your last chance, as Dr. Dog has announced their final tour ever, ending in Philadelphia New Year's Eve 2021. Number 2, Regarding Your Brains, Jonathan Coulton. Comedy folk singer Jonathan Coulton has made a career out of geeky songs like Code Monkey and the Portal 2 song Still Alive, but most people first discovered him due to the popularity of a song Regarding Your Brains. The song was the biggest success from his Thing a Week project, where he would write and record one song a week for a year. The song is written like every business email you've ever received that attempts to sound personal when it's very much not. Only this time, it's a coworker who's now a zombie politely requesting to eat your brains. While it may not pack a dance floor, once you hear it, you will not be able to get it out of your head. It's the ultimate sing-along. Before we jump to number 1, a quick honorable mention. We were thinking about mentioning the Misfits here, but frankly, the Misfits. Instead, check out the folk punk group Harley Poe, who for over a decade have written some of the most bizarre, funny, and unapologetically offensive horror-themed songs. And number 1, My Body's a Zombie for You by Dead Man's Bones. Did you know that sex symbol / actor Ryan Gosling was also in an indie rock band that was formed due to his love of horror movies and the Haunted Mansion ride? Well, now you do. In 2009, Ryan's group, also featuring drummer Zach Shields, released their self-titled record with the assistance of Flea's Silver Lake Conservatory Children's Choir. Yes, that Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. The combination of lo-fi goth rock mixed with 30 children's voices leads to an extremely haunting but memorable album, with My Body's a Zombie for You being the absolute standout track. If you haven't heard the song before, check it out, along with the other 9 entries in the Spotify playlist linked in the description.